What's going on, you guys? It's Ski here with Side Hustle Do TV, and today it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna get back to the roots, man. We're back on the hustle. I've been producing a lot of news sort of content, talking about the stock market, talking about stimulus checks, etc. But today we're getting back to the roots, man. We're doing a hustle. Today we will be doing DoorDash. We're gonna hustle up some money because I want to take my YouTube to the next level. Right now I have a good quality camera, I have a decent quality mic, and I want the ability to be able to stream and sort of produce a show live. And I'm not really able to do that. I tried, and I just don't have the CPU power for it. So I'm gonna build a streaming PC. I'm looking to hustle up about $1,000. And basically what I found is all my equipment will cost me roughly $3,000, which sounds like a lot, but I've got it over the course of some years now, and I've just hustled it. And the good news is, if you open up an EIN like I've talked about, all this stuff is a tax write-off, and they can either write it off or they can depreciate it, which depreciation is better because you show income but you still get tax credit. Because if you just write everything off on a tax, I'm going on a tangent here, but if you just write everything off on taxes, then it looks like you didn't make a lot of income, and that shows as a loss. But if you depreciate it, you still get the tax credit over the course of 3 to 5 years. The only difference is you still show income. So that's really preferred. But yeah, I'm able to depreciate all this stuff under my business. And that's what I recommend you guys do. If you really want to take your stuff to the next level, you need to open up an EIN, open up a business. It's super cheap, and it opens up a whole new world of stuff that you're going to be able to do that you couldn't do just hustling it up on yourself. But I'm still going to hustle, because even if so, right now my MacBook is my MacBook Pro, it's being fixed, and I'm just using an old iMac for video editing, but it doesn't have the CPU to stream. So my MacBook is going to take about 30 days to get fixed, and I should have the money before then, because I need about $1,000 to hustle up. But let's say it comes back sooner and I find out that it has the streaming capabilities, then what I'll do is I'll just put the money that I hustled up and I'll put it right into investments via real estate, via the stock market, via my business. Whatever I can stand not to live off of, I put it right back into the stock market, my business, or real estate. One of the three, I'm all in on that. Currently, I have a job where I work 60 hours a week, and I live off of 70% of that income, and I invest the rest. I don't make that much money. I just have brought my expenses way down. And I've been really aggressive about paying off debt. I only make, I make above the average per person, but below the average household, because I'm the only breadwinner in my family. I make roughly $60,000 a year, and I only live off of roughly $40,000, and I invest the rest. So, and that's what I recommend you do. And the only way I was able to do this is by doing what I'm doing right now. And I hustled up some money. The very first thing I did was I hustled up an emergency savings fund, because if you're trying to get ahead, guess what's going to happen? You're going against the grain that you have ingrained. Okay, think of it like trees. They have a certain pattern to them, and they just go this way the grain of the wood goes a certain way. Well, now all of a sudden you're trying to go the opposite way. You're trying to create positive momentum. Well, guess what? All the negative patterns that you've had throughout the course of your life before you decide to be mindful and try to overcome this, they're all going against you. And it's a rough process. I'm telling you right now, it is extremely rough in the beginning because everything and their mama feels like it is against you. But you just got to keep going, and eventually the grain, it starts to run with you. That's what you want. You want to work with the current, not against it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to save up $1,000 in your emergency fund. $1,000. Because stuff is going to happen while you're trying to get ahead, while you're trying to pay off debt, while you're trying to invest money. Guess what? Stuff is going to happen. If you don't have $1,000, which even before the pandemic, 55% of all Americans did not have $1,000 in their savings account. So if you don't have $1,000 in your savings account, that's step one. You have to put an emergency fund away. Okay? Then you keep hustling. You keep hustling, and you be aggressive, extremely aggressive about paying off all consumer debt. This car that I'm driving right now is paid off. My truck is paid off. Okay? It's 2010. This car is a 2010 and my truck is a 2006. But guess what? They still ride. That's step 3. Don't keep up with the Joneses. F the Joneses. If you want to be successful, you need to keep up with your investments. Not getting a new car every year, getting a new house every 3 years or whatever, unless you're trying to keep them all as real estate investments. That's one thing, but just getting a bigger house just to get a bigger house, guess what? You're house poor now. You're car poor now. Okay? So you got to pay off your consumer debt. Pay off your credit cards. And you cannot give yourself a little cheat meal, you know, go out so you can stay consistent. Give yourself a little, you know, you have the ability to have like a financial cheat meal and you give yourself $50 or $25 to spend. A lot of times if you do like a crash diet, the same thing physically. If I do 1000% strict eating, guess what? I'm gonna purge after a week and I'm just gonna completely destroy all the gains that I may have made. And the same thing is true with financial. It's better to be 95, 98% consistent over the course of years.
Via US 41 alternate south and Tennessee 155 west, which saves 4 minutes if you prefer to stay on the curb.
It's better to be 98% consistent over the course of years, or even 95%, or even 90% consistent over the course of years, rather than being 100% consistent for a month and then just completely purging. And a lot of times people will do more harm than good that way. You know, they'll lose 5 pounds, they'll lose 10 pounds on a crash diet, and then they gain 15 pounds. Or the same thing financially, it works the same way. You know, they'll pay off $7K in debt, and then they'll add $10K in debt because they went and got a new car. Like, bro, what are you doing? Okay? So that's phase number 2. You pay off your debt. Phase 3, I mean, you can add a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, but my emergency fund beyond I keep $2,000 in my savings account, and beyond that, I keep it in my investment accounts, which I have access to. So it's like a 3 to 6 month emergency fund for me personally. But beyond that, everything you get, every dollar you get, you know, your first 10% or whatever you can manage, invest it. Invest the difference. And then every time you get a pay raise, no, don't get a lifestyle increase. This is what the Joneses do. If you want to be financially free, financially independent, independent of the government, independent of your mama, independent of everybody, just working for you, you call the shots. You can't do that. If you get a pay increase, you don't get a lifestyle increase. You invest the difference, and before you know it, you'll be at, you'll be investing, 30-40% of your income. But what people do is they get a pay increase instead of investing the difference. No, what do? They start spending $200 a month on clothes, or they start just eating out more, or whatever, like just stupid stuff that doesn't equal anything. That's what they use their money on. Like me, I was only making like $2,800 or 30. I was making like $3,400 a month, somewhere around there. Yeah, $3,400 a month for a family of 4. This is not a lot of money. This is my base income. Okay. This was not enough money to get ahead or anything. So we cut back on what we needed to cut back on. I hustled up the difference and invested the difference, and I make a good bit more money than that now, but I don't have the lifestyle increase. I'm still living like I was yesterday. I'm still living like I was last year. And I will continue to do that until I am 100% financially independent, where my bills are paid regardless of whether I work or not. So how do you calculate that? Well, it's very simple. You need to add up. All of your expenses. You cannot live without expenses. This is like your rent, your electric, your food, your water, your bare minimum bills that you need to survive. Okay? You add this up and say for me, the number is $3,200. That's the bare minimum I need to pay all my bills. This is including food, etc. So how you can do this in real estate is 20 properties. The average property it'll cash flow you, if you do the math correctly on the front end of things, it'll cash flow after all expenses are paid, after 25 to 40% is put away for a safety net, for your CapEx expenses, for your property management, for your repairs, for your vacancies, all that stuff. After all that is put away, you should cash flow between $100 to $200 a month per door that you have. Okay? So if you average that, 150 times 20 is 3,000. So you could say 21 would cover all of my bills. That's one way of doing it. Another way is with dividend-paying stocks. So how much money do you need in dividend-paying stocks to get $3,200 to be paid for per month? Well, you work backwards. It's roughly, I've already done the math, but what you do is you would just keep plugging in numbers. You start like 750,000. Actually, I think it's $1.6 million. 1.6 million times 0.004 is roughly $40,000, which is roughly $3,200 a month. So I need 1.6 million invested into dividend-paying stocks that average 4% dividends paid, and that will be retirement for the rest of my life. Now, let me tell you a little secret. You can do both of them, and you can do both of them to, in fact, grow both of them. Hopefully you have more than one source of level 1 financial freedom, because we're trying to get to level 2. Level 2 is comfort, and then after level 2 is level 3. Level 3 is wealth, health and wealth, baby. Once you get to level 1, level 2 is easy. Once you get to level 2, level 3 is easy. You know? Alright, so we got our first order. It's showing $2.50, but really that's an added order. It's really about $10. See if you see, I got 2 orders here. Joshua and Haley. So we'll see how that goes. It's about $10. I'm starting about 3 o'clock, and I'm going to try to put in about probably about 10 hours or so. I recommend you starting earlier than this, but hey, it is what it is. Better late than never. As you can see, this is Haley. I'll be dropping hers off first. This is $8.75 plus $2.50. It's both of those orders. Typically, I wouldn't do an order less than $3 or less than $5, but I accidentally accepted the other one. But it is what it is. Money, a dollar earned is a dollar that I can invest, and that's like $4 saved. Let's go. All right. So we dropped off Haley, and we got an additional tip off of what she already gave me, just for me using her name and being friendly. So it pays. You get more flies with honey than you do vinegar. All right, here's a pro tip, you guys. Bring your water, bring your coffee, and bring your food from the house. This is for you. You do not need to be spending $30, $40 to buy food and snacks when you can bring it from home. All that stuff probably costs me $4, and I have all the food I need for this entire shift and drinks. Yeah, don't be spending $40 like that. That cuts hugely into your margin. Every dollar you earn equals $4 to $10, and if you invest it, every dollar equals $4 to $10 invested. Therefore, that $40 worth of snacks, you 4x that, that's $160. That's your whole DoorDash for the day. You don't need to be doing that, fam. All right, from start to finish, pick up to drop off of both of the orders. It was $12.75. It took me about 20 minutes. I am not mad about that at all. So let's go back to the dollar. A dollar saved is a dollar earned. It's really a dollar saved, a dollar invested is 4 to 10 of your little babies that are growing, man. The average millennial, they spend $1,200 a year in coffee. Uh-oh, we got a new order. We got some more babies coming. We got some more babies coming my way. Let me accept it, please. $8.50. That's what I'm talking about. $8.50. That's $8.50 times 4 to 10 babies coming my way. Uh-oh, it's saying we got another order on top of the other order. Babies on babies on babies on babies. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. So, anyways, the average millennial spends $1,200 a year on coffee. This coffee right here cost me 15 cents, okay? The average millennial spends $1,200 a year on coffee. If you took that same money and invested it into an index fund for 46 years, that's a long time, I know, but you'd be a millionaire off of coffee, just by cutting coffee out of your life. That's just one thing. I bet you could cut some more things out, all right? You come for the Uber or for the DoorDash, and you stay for the health and wealth financial advice. Finances are spiritual, man. Your finances are spiritual. Believe that. So, update. We just ended up canceling the $850 order, and I got a $9 order directly after that. The reason I canceled was because it was in the mall, and I wasn't going through like parking and going in, all that. It just wasn't worth it for my time. But I immediately got a $9 order, and he ended up tipping an extra $1, so it was $10.50. And immediately after that, we just got another order from Wendy's for $5. So let's see how this goes. All right, we just completed another order, bringing the total. It was a $6 order. He said he's gonna tip, but I'm happy with $6. If he tips, he tips. But right now the total is $34.25. So, recap. Just got back to the house. I ended up making roughly $176, which, here, I'll just show you guys right now. I left a lot. Oh no, I'm sorry, $174. Yep. Yeah, so I made $174. It says this week, but I only did it on Saturday. There were some issues there in the middle. So for one thing, I ran out of light, so I wasn't really able to get a good shot at the end, and as well, my battery died. So, and as well, there was like a 2 or 3 hour period where I was just running into like bad luck. So I definitely could have made a lot more money. Like there was one where like I spent like 45 minutes shopping in Walgreens. I didn't even know that was a thing for DoorDash, but apparently it is. You can shop in Walgreens. And I spent like 45 minutes getting their order, and I went to the front and realized that I didn't have my red card. Here it is, right here. Cool. Just now got it. But I didn't have it with me at the time. Sorry. And then like there was a weird glitch with Checkers. I kept getting like $10 orders there, and I guess their system was down, so I kept having to cancel. So I ended up probably wasting like an hour. So overall, I probably wasted like 2 hours of my time today. But still $174. I mean, I'm not mad about it. So, all right, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below, like, subscribe, share. Thanks, peace, love, and prosperity.